The recent importation of over 400 livestock is primarily intended to facilitate the launch of a national breeding program aimed at improving local genetics. Earlier this month, the Ministry of Agriculture imported 165 sheep, 159 goats, and 144 pigs, all pure breed, from the United States at a cost of EC $4 million. To ensure the successful implementation of this national breeding initiative, the ministry signed a memorandum of understanding with 75 farmers, 25 each specializing in breeding of sheep, goats, and pigs, who will participate in the program for the first 3 years of this 10-year project. Since the announcement of the program, the ministry has received numerous inquiries about purchasing and registering to receive these animals. However, Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan clarifies that these animals are not for sale. Instead, they are designated for the breeding program and in the first instance will only be provided to the 75 carefully selected farmers.
The initial intent of the program is for breeding. So we want to increase the quality, we want to increase the stock of the animal. So within the first 3 years or so, we'll be using the animal for breeding, both on the farms and select farmers, 25 each, would be able to be given a purebred animal so that they could do in that process. So there is no animal available currently for sale. After the first breeding cycle, what we would do is that we would select those that we would keep to breed again, and of course those that have not reached the standard to breed, then of course we would sell it to individual farmers and for probably the meat market. But the initial intent is not for animals to consume currently, but of course the intent later on, that is what would happen.
To further highlight the intent of the program, Coordinator of Component 4 of the Food Security Enhancement Project, Nugent Bernard, explained that the initiative goes beyond simply providing an animal to a farmer.
As we continue to breed animals from Maribo, which is the purebred breeding center, farmers would be exposed to the same kind of genetics that we have, right? So at due time, the ministry will put out information asking farmers who are interested in purebred to make application, right? Because again, it's not just giving a farmer animal. We want to make sure that the management system that the farmer has is adequate. We want to make sure that the feeding system that he has for the animal is adequate. We want to make sure that the housing and everything, is really taken care of. Because in some cases, we may even have to, at some point in time, look at how do we improve the housing condition for not just pigs, but for sheep and goat, poultry, all the livestock animals, right? So there is no need for farmers to be, calling and jittery about, how do I get an animal, how do I set up an animal, how do I make application for an animal. This is a process that we have just started. In fact, as we speak, the animals are in quarantine for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, we will determine what is going to happen with the 25 farmers that we have shortlisted. And then, of course, moving forward, taking care and making sure that we adequately manage those that we have at the Maribo facility.
The ministry reminds farmers that the program is designed for their benefit and encourages them to stay informed about its operations so they can ultimately reap the rewards. Christina John, GBN.